Money in the Bank is live Sunday night from Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. Last I checked, there were only about 100 tickets shy of a sellout, which would be around 10,000 people. I've got predictions, and I've got some big news on who may be challenging for the WWE Championship at Summerslam. You might consider it a spoiler, so you have been warned. But first, though, I've got two important contests real quick here to tell you about. First is the Wrestle Rumble Money in the Bank Pick'em contest. Top prize of $1,000 cash. The deadline to enter is 8 p.m. Eastern Sunday night. Right when the pay-per-view begins, the winners will be announced on Monday. Some of the questions include how many tables will break during the men's Money in the Bank match? Will there be a cash-in for the men or the women? Who will leave Money in the Bank as WWE Champion and as the Universal Champion? You guys can answer these questions. Go ahead, purchase your entry right now, WrestleRumble.com. And Sunday night is the night. I am very excited about this. I get to pick one lucky winner at random to win the one-of-a-kind custom Solomonster Championship belt. Solomonster sounds off belt. It's only $1 to enter. You may do so as many times as you wish, up until the 8 p.m. cutoff on Sunday night when Money in the Bank goes live. And then as soon as the pay-per-view goes off the air, join me live on YouTube for my full recap, where I will also be picking the winner at random on the air. Will it be you? It could be, but only if you enter. You got to be in it to win it. 9 pounds of silver could be yours. So get in on that. They have added a kickoff match to the show, and it is a big one. Rey and Dominic Mysterio will defend their SmackDown Tag Team titles against the Usos. It has now been almost 2 full weeks. We are closing in on 2 full weeks. And WWE still has yet to publicly address Jimmy Uso being arrested for the 4th time? 5th time? In the last decade, whichever it is. I've lost track. What message does that send if they win the titles here in this match? The match itself should be great. I mean, the Usos and the Shield had a tag team title match on the Money in the Bank kickoff the year that I went to the show in Philly in 2013 that was tremendous. They had another with the New Day on the SummerSlam pre-show 4 years ago. Jimmy and Jay are the kickoff kings. But bad behavior should not be rewarded. The Mysterios should win and then defend the titles at SummerSlam against Otis and Chad Gable. And I think they will, with the Usos pinning Rey on SmackDown Friday night in that 6-man tag. I think Rey and Dom get the win, and if that doesn't fit the story they're telling with Roman Reigns, you know what? Too bad. It's not needed. We have the Raw Tag Team titles being defended by AJ Styles and Omos against the Viking Raiders. This was originally announced for Raw this coming Monday, but plans change. With the SmackDown Women's title match being bumped off the pay-per-view, they decided to slide this match in there. The Viking Raiders won a Battle Royal last month to earn the right to challenge for the titles. Ivar got a singles win over AJ Styles last Monday, while Omos got a win over Eric. It was the first singles match for Omos on TV, and he didn't do much, which is probably for the better. He is so big, you just sort of have to work around him, which is what Eric did. I have Styles and Omos to retain because you have to have them defend against Randy Orton and Matt Riddle at SummerSlam. You cannot first hit the road and then break them up, which is what I hear some people suggesting, that Orton is going to show up during the men's Money in the Bank match and cost Riddle the briefcase. It's too soon for that. We haven't even seen these two wrestle as a team in front of live fans. You're going to break them up? That would be insanely stupid. That is the match you save for SummerSlam, and you do the title change there. Rhea Ripley and her Raw Women's Championship will be on the line against Charlotte Flair. The creative has not been compelling at all for this feud, but we know these two can have a great match because I saw one with my own eyes at WrestleMania last year. In an empty warehouse, they had an excellent match. Rhea Ripley picked up a win over Natalya last Monday, and after the match, Charlotte appeared and she chop-blocked Rhea, as Rhea did to her before. And then she put her in a figure 4 leg lock with Charlotte hanging over the apron outside the ring to apply maximum pressure while Rhea screamed in pain. I think they did that to give Rhea an out when she loses the title. I mean, look, it's possible they did it to make her seem like an even bigger babyface when she overcomes the injury and she wins, but I don't think so. I think they did that to give her an out when she loses. I think she comes into the match at less than 100%. She fights valiantly through the pain, but in the end, Charlotte wins her 11th Women's Championship singles title on the main roster. This will not be the end of this feud. Either way, this will not be the end of this feud, but I think Charlotte gets the title. We have the Women's Money in the Bank ladder match with Asuka, who won last year's match on the roof at Titan Tower, Nikki Ash, Alexa Bliss, Naomi, Zelina Vega, Liv Morgan, Natalya, and Tamina. A waste of a final spot. They were dangling the carrot of there being one open spot left in this match, and they give it to Tamina. I liked my Sonya Deville idea much better. In fact, I like it so much that I am sticking with my prediction, and I am picking someone who is not even officially in the match to win Money in the Bank. I am predicting that Sonya Deville is going to win. Liv Morgan is going to be attacked at the pay-per-view before the match by a mystery assailant and taken out of Money in the Bank, and in her place, Sonya Deville will enter herself into Money in the Bank, and she will win. And we'll come to find out eventually that it wasn't Carmella who took out Liv, even though they'll tease that's who it was. It was Sonya. Liv was right. Sonya had it out for her the entire time. So that's my prediction. Bobby Lashley defends the WWE Championship against Kofi Kingston. They did something on Monday night that I hate. I know, shocking. They pinned the champion on TV. Not just any champion, but one of their top champions. Lashley got rolled up and pinned by Xavier Woods. But I'm going to give them a pass on this one time, because it played into the story they were trying to tell. For weeks, Kofi Kingston has talked about how Lashley's been losing his focus with all the partying and all of the women. He's taken his eye off the ball. He's back at the hotel. He's shooting up an 8-ball. This guy's out of control. And on Raw last Monday, he was proven right. And Lashley was humiliated. And what it led to was the best promo of Bobby Lashley's entire career in WWE. I put the WWE qualifier in there because Lashley did some really good stuff in Impact when he was the champion. I don't recall every single promo he ever did in Impact, though, so I can't say it was better or worse than those. But this is the best promo I've ever seen Lashley cut. He had left the building after the loss, only to return later in the night for the final edition of the VIP Lounge from the Thunderdome. MVP was doing one last VIP Lounge. He had the champagne on ice. He had the ladies with him. I guess the ladies are not coming on the road with them. Lashley looked all disheveled. He came down. He asked the ladies to leave. And then he said, he was thinking about what Kofi said. And Kofi was right. MVP has made him soft. He said he appreciated everything MVP has done for him, but this is bullshit, he said. This bullshit needs to stop now. Boy, is that a soundbite that I can clip and get a lot of use out of. Back to business. That's what he said. Back to business. Before he started throwing all of the furniture out of the ring. This was a great segment. I did not see this as a split between Lashley and MVP, more of a kind of a wake-up call, a warning to MVP that it's time to get serious and get back to basics. The angle at the end of the show justified what they did at the beginning of the show. So many times they do these dumb finishes, they pin champions. It doesn't lead anywhere. It doesn't lead to a title match and I don't know that Xavier Woods is getting a title match either. But at least this led somewhere that made sense. And I thought it was well done. Kofi Kingston is not winning the WWE Championship. The end result of this should be the destruction of the New Day by Bobby Lashley. He is my pick to win. We have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match with one hell of a lineup that they have assembled here. Drew McIntyre, Matt Riddle, Ricochet, John Morrison representing Raw. Kevin Owens, Big E, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Seth Rollins representing SmackDown. One of the things I like is that there are enough plausible choices that the outcome is not too obvious. Lots of different ways they can go with this. Nakamura has no chance. He's got his crown. He's got Rick Boogs. He doesn't need it. Kevin Owens winning and then torturing Paul Heyman for months, teasing that he might cash in. I mean, that could be entertaining. But we've already seen Reigns and Owens. I don't see Owens flipping sides and going over to Raw to go after the WWE title, so he seems unlikely. Ricochet and Morrison, they've had some really good TV matches in recent weeks. I thought their Falls Count Anywhere match last Monday was the best thing on the show. It was Ricochet doing Ricochet things, which he should be doing more of. But he is not winning the briefcase, and neither is Johnny Drip Drip. He's not winning the fucking briefcase. Which leaves us with McIntyre, Riddle, Rollins, and Big E. Vince McMahon clearly loves Matt Riddle and finds him amusing, or we wouldn't have Riddle all over the television show the way we do every week. If Riddle were to win, it introduces a new wrinkle to his relationship with Randy Orton. More comedy. We got our fill of comedy last year with Otis. McIntyre, he is no longer allowed to challenge for the WWE title so long as Lashley is the champion. Him winning Money in the Bank could be a way around that, but they also run the risk of turning the crowd against him by constantly feeding him title matches. His reaction on Sunday is going to be very telling, because a lot of people are going to be pulling for Big E, or they're going to be pulling for Riddle over Drew. Past few weeks, they started a program with McIntyre and Jinder Mahal. Mahal stole his prize sword, which is what happens when you bring your fucking sword to work. On Monday, Drew revealed that it was a replica that Jinder and his men stole. It was not the real thing. And then he destroyed Jinder's motorcycle, the same motorcycle we saw him use exactly once on television. But apparently he had this great attachment to it. But Drew destroyed his property and he embarrassed him. He embarrassed Jinder Mahal on Monday night. And so it stands to reason that Jinder is going to want to extract a measure of revenge. And what better way to do that than to cost Drew McIntyre his shot at winning the briefcase? The one avenue that he has left available to him, possibly, to get back the WWE Championship, and Jinder Mahal takes it away from him. I think Mahal and his minions get involved. Maybe they push Drew off a ladder or something, which takes him out of the running. But I don't think Drew McIntyre is winning Money in the Bank, which narrows the field down to 2. Before SmackDown on Friday night, my pick to win this match was Seth Rollins. And I was going to do my Money in the Bank predictions a few days earlier, and I'm glad I waited. Now, Rollins, he was furious when Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville granted Edge a title match against Roman Reigns. He flipped out on Talking Smack that one week, that it was promised to me, Edge doesn't deserve it, I'm not the one who took 6 months off, I was here every week. This is all to build to a match between the two at Summerslam. So I had Rollins winning the briefcase and then cashing in later that same night. He does to Roman Reigns, or tries to do to Roman Reigns, the same thing he did to him at WrestleMania 31. He cashes in during the match to make it a triple threat. And he delivers a curb stomp to Edge. Then we get a spear from Roman Reigns. That takes out Rollins, and Roman Reigns retains the championship. But then I watched the end of SmackDown on Friday with Rollins winning a fatal 4-way over Big E, Owens, and Nakamura, and posing with the briefcase on top of the ladder. He's cackling like a hyena, and it became very obvious that Seth Rollins is not going to win Money in the Bank. I believe the man who is winning that contract is the man who Rollins curb stomped onto a ladder and pinned in that match, and that man is Big E. Big E winning the briefcase is intriguing if Lashley massacres the New Day in the WWE title match. They have made it clear the winner can cash in on any champion of their choosing this year, which means Big E, even though he's a SmackDown guy, could decide to cash in on the Raw champion if he wants. And who better to get revenge for Kofi and Woods than Big E at SummerSlam? If Brock Lesnar isn't coming back, and it looks likely that Lesnar is not coming back at SummerSlam. Ponytail Brock, I'm sure you saw the photos this week. Ponytail Brock has become a butcher. And he is living his best life right now. He is not thinking of SummerSlam. He is not thinking of 120-degree heat in Vegas in August. He seems perfectly content doing whatever it is that he's doing. The story with Big E would work. The fans, I think, they like the guy. They want to see him succeed. They want to see him move up the ladder. He could and he may literally move up the ladder and grab the briefcase. He could win the briefcase and show up on Raw the following night to announce his intentions of cashing in at SummerSlam. He can call his shot like Babe Ruth, or like Rob Van Dam did all those years ago before he cashed in on John Cena. I like that story. Especially a more serious, focused Big E who is on a mission for revenge because of what has happened to his friends. Now, there's also another possibility with a Big E win, which is that Kofi Kingston does win the WWE Championship, which he won't. But let's say he does, and then Big E cashes in on Kofi and goes heel. And the reason I bring this up is Big E spoke with Alex McCarthy of TalkSport, and he revealed the idea of a New Day split was pitched by none other than Vince McMahon himself after the Kofi Mania stuff in 2019. And all three men rejected it. They vetoed the idea, they got it nixed. But the fact that Vince even had the idea in his mind tells you that there is a chance that it could happen. But I don't see it. Why? Just ask the question, why? That's what I would do if I was sitting in these creative meetings. I mean, boy, they would hate my guts. I wouldn't last a week in that company. Because my favorite question would be, why? Always ask why. Why are we doing this? What is Big E's motivation? What is his rationale for turning against his best friends? Jealousy? He had success on SmackDown as the Intercontinental Champion. It's not like he hasn't been doing anything. It would just be having him turn for the sake of turning. Now, Kofi turning on Woods, that would have made sense with the MVP storyline when MVP was trying to stir things up and he was trying to tell Kofi that Woods was holding him back. That's why you never got your rematch for the WWE title. You were stuck in a tag team. That story could have worked. But they ended up not going that way. But Big E turning doesn't work. The other scenario does. The other scenario works much better. But apparently it doesn't for WWE. I'll get to why here in a second. That ties in with that little spoiler I mentioned earlier. But we've got Roman Reigns defending the championship of the universe against Edge. The man who never did get the one-on-one match he was promised by winning the Royal Rumble. Daniel Bryan ruined that for him at WrestleMania. All you need to know is that it is going to be Roman Reigns defending against John Cena at SummerSlam. That is the money match. The bigger money match is Reigns against The Rock, but that's for WrestleMania next year. Seth Rollins, I predict, will still cost Edge the victory, even though it won't be via cash-in. When he loses the Money in the Bank match earlier in the night, he's going to just be so beside himself, he will not allow Edge to have his moment, and he will take it away from him, and Roman Reigns will retain his championship. It's very simple. Roman Reigns is not losing the title. Bobby Lashley has a better chance of losing his title of Money in the Bank than Roman Reigns does, and I don't think he has much of a chance of losing his title. So Roman has even less of a chance. But that's your Money in the Bank card. I hope to see all of you live in the chat on YouTube after the pay-per-view. But that brings me to the big news of the last few days, which is a report from Fightful, one of the more reliable sites out there, that Bill Goldberg is on his way back to WWE television. That was the plan as of Thursday afternoon, and he will be on Monday Night Raw this week. And guess who Goldberg is going to be challenging at SummerSlam? Bobby Lashley. And if I'm right, and Lashley retains his WWE Championship in Money in the Bank, then it would be for the WWE title. Which would render my Big E prediction pretty fucking useless, I guess, now wouldn't it? You know, it would be nice to see Vince McMahon go all in on someone and try to create a new star here. But he's back to his tried and true, which is, we have a stadium to fill, so what legend can we dust off and use? I know what they're doing here. They're going back on the road in front of live audiences. They want all hands on deck to get people watching. That's why we hear about John Cena coming back. And Becky Lynch. And now Goldberg. And there may be others. Goldberg is under contract for at least 2 matches per year based on his current deal. This is what he himself has said. That deal runs through at least next year. I can't remember if it's 2023 that it expires or 2022. I think it's 2022. And he could always extend that. And, you know, Goldberg, look, the fact that we're going to be getting more Goldberg is not a shock. It was inevitable. We knew this already. And Goldberg, in a short, explosive squash, depending on who he's squashing, or you could say even putting over somebody new, depending on who it is fairly unoffensive. My big issue here, is that we just saw Billy Boy brought in to wrestle Drew McIntyre at the Royal Rumble for that same WWE Championship. And he lost to McIntyre, as he should have. So why do we need to see him challenging for the championship again? What is gained from this? Goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. Ask the question, why? Why? He lost to Braun Strowman. He would have lost to Roman Reigns, but he lost to Braun instead when Roman went home. He lost to Drew McIntyre. Even if Lashley beats him, what is gained from any of this? Brock Lesnar lost to Drew McIntyre that same weekend, by the way, where Goldberg lost to Strowman. But Lesnar against Lashley is a match that a lot of people have wanted to see for many years. Let's say Goldberg comes in and loses. I just don't see what's accomplished or how that benefits Lashley in any meaningful way. Not after Goldberg lost clean to Drew the way he did. The same Drew McIntyre that Lashley went on to beat multiple times. Drew beat Goldberg, Lashley beat Drew, and now we're supposed to get excited for Lashley against Goldberg. This is a classic case. This feels like we couldn't get Brock. We couldn't reach a deal with Brock. He was at the butcher. We couldn't get Brock, so Goldberg is the consolation prize. And if I'm totally off here, and the idea is that Goldberg is actually going to be the one to beat Lashley and win the title, then you can just fuck right the hell off, is what you can do. You have a story with the destruction of the New Day at the hands of Bobby Lashley and a more serious Big E marching in to avenge his friends and try to take down the Almighty, right? There's the story. That would be a fine alternative to a match. If you can't get Brock Lesnar, big marquee match, I think that would be a perfectly fine alternative. Big E is not the star that Brock is. He's not the star that Goldberg is. But why does Goldberg need to be challenging for the championship when he already had his shot this same calendar year? And that didn't make much sense either. I still maintain the match to do at the Royal Rumble with Goldberg would have been against Randy Orton, because Orton was the one disrespecting the legends at that time, not Drew. I mean, hell, you could still do Goldberg against Orton at SummerSlam. The spear against the RKO. I mean, Orton, I'd still rather see him and Riddle win the belts because I think that's kind of where everything is building to. But I'm just saying, you could still do... We've not seen that match since, what, 2003? I don't even know if they had a match in 2003. Did Goldberg wrestle Orton in his first run with WWE? He might have. But that was so long ago, I don't even count that. It's almost 20 years ago. Orton against Goldberg. Orton would be a fresh opponent for Goldberg if they wanted to go down that road. You do the spear against the RKO, I think that would be fine. And everybody's saying, oh, maybe Riddle wins Money in the Bank. I mean, consider this. Maybe Riddle wins Money in the Bank and then Goldberg wins the title at SummerSlam and Riddle cashes in. You have all been out in the sun for too long. Goldberg is not working with Matt Riddle. And Goldberg should not ever be beating Bobby Lashley. Keep him the fuck away from the title.